Well, good afternoon, hockey fans, and welcome to the Heritage Sports Center in Duluth for today's exciting high school action. The Minnetonka Skippers and the Duluth East Greyhounds. Hello again, everyone, along with the entire Mesabi Community Television crew, and Reed Larson on the commentating, and Bob Cohen, the play-by-play. And Reed, I've had this game marked on this calendar for a long time, and I know a lot of people have a rematch of last year's AA state championship. The Tonka and Duluth East. It should be a fun game.
Well, this is going to be something else here. We've got the best seat in the house here tonight up in the Crow's Nest, looking down at two of the top teams in the state of Minnesota with 13-0 Minnetonka Skippers and 8-2-1 Duluth East. So Duluth East kind of lighter schedule the first half of the season here, but Tonka really playing a lot of games here the first half with 13. They're looking to go 14 here today, but I'm guessing that Duluth East is going to have something to say about that.
Tonka comes in as a #1 rated team in Class AA hockey. Duluth East fell a spot. They went from 4 to #5 after this past week, where they lost a game and they tied a game. So last night they come off a big win over Stillwater, 7-3. They knocked off the Ponies big time last night. We're going to pick up the starting lineups in today's hockey game. And again, the Hounds are in their home whites, while the Tonka Skippers are in their road blues. This is a very good defensive team. They've only given up 13 goals in 13 games.
Well, when you got a team, well, I should say a school as big as Minnetonka, they can field quite a few different areas of the game right now, Bob. And defensively, not giving up a whole lot of goals, but they've got some really electric offense on their team, too. So it's going to be really fun to watch this group.
Just about set to get the starting lineup. Again, Minnetonka is in their road blue uniforms. Charlie Klockner has played in all 13 games. He's perfect, 13-0 in the season with a 1.0 goals against average.
Well, you know, Bob Cohen, once you get the opportunity to put one of those nice championship rings on your table, you want another one. Tonka's got one, looking for one more.
Starting at center will be Hunter Newhouse. He's only a sophomore. His wingmates were going to be Griffin Streeter, #8, and Jack Bayless, #29. On defense, they're going to start Josh Litke, #3, and Grant Doctor, who I've heard nothing but good things about. Grant Doctor. He's supposed to be...
He's the real deal. He was something else down at the state tournament last year, and actually played against him last year when I was coaching the grade 8 down there. The Ted Bro grade 8, so he was on the other team, kind of dominated our Section 7 team, but fantastic defenseman. Going to be fun to watch that kind of talent here today.
Charlie Klockner will start in the nets. Again, for Duluth East, it'll be Brady Raybold. Now their first line up front, they're going to go with Logan Anderson, #28. And they've moved Ricky Lyle now from that second line up with the line with Logan Anderson. And they've also made another change. Jonathan Jones now from the first line. So a little difference than what we saw him last time. Now we'll pause as we'll let you enjoy the singing of the national anthem tonight.
We ask that you know, please rise and put your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
playing the national anthem. We've met the starting laps, and now they must have a special presentation as they've put the red carpet out.
So president of the Minnesota Wilderness here, ceremonial puck drop. Minnesota Wilderness will be on the rink tonight after this high school hockey game playing the Minot Minotauros in the North American Hockey League.
So it was Ricky Lyle of Duluth East and Jack Bayless of Minnetonka. 13-0 Minnetonka, 8-2-1 Duluth East. East played last night against Stillwater. Again, they came away with a 7-3 victory. Tonka had the night off. They're coming off a victory over Benilde St. Margaret. I see on the Minnetonka schedule, they'll be back up to the Northland next Saturday as they'll be in Hermantown to take on the Hawks.
That'll be a fun game to watch, too, as well as Hermantown is really making a hard push at that #1 spot right now, if not already 1 or 2 right now in single-A hockey here in the state of Minnesota.
Hermantown last night, speaking of the Hawks, they knocked off St. Cloud Cathedral in St. Cloud last night, 2-1 in overtime.
So I believe that was 1 and 2 in the state last night.
Yep,
and,
they are.
Hermantown proved why they should be #1, so they should be ranked #1, if not already. I think St. Cloud Cathedral was ranked #1, and then Hermantown knocked them off.
A few of the scores from last night as we're waiting for the start of the game. Roseville 3-0 over Brainerd. Grand Rapids went down to Maple Grove and lost 5-2. Chaska in overtime beat Greenway 5-4. Orono beat Virginia 4-2. Hermantown 2-1 victory over St. Cloud Cathedral. And Hibbing went to Rochester yesterday. Rochester Mayo beat the Blue Jackets 5-2. Some of the scores from yesterday, and we'll run down the schedule as there's quite a few games going on tap this afternoon and tonight here in the Northland. We're all set for the opening face-off. It'll be Logan Anderson facing off against Hunter Newhouse.
This is an all brand new first line for the Minnetonka Skippers here. Last year at the state tournament, you saw a different first line. But when you got a community as big as they are and a school as big as they are, Bob, they just reload rosters every year down in Minnetonka. So it's going to be interesting to see new guys wearing #8, new guy wearing #10. Last year, Joe Molinar wearing #10 was one of the guys that was a big timer at the state tournament, ended up winning that Herb Brooks Award at the state tournament. So Newhouse wearing #10 tonight, am I right? Yep. Hunter Newhouse, and new guy wearing #8 tonight, Griffin Streeter. So fun to see these jerseys turn over. It's kind of like passing on a torch to one of your former teammates, keeping that number alive.
Crowd has made its way in, and we've got a big crowd here at the Heritage Center. Raybolt will just drop it off for Heidela. Up the boards, up for Lyle. He'll get into neutral ice, and the Hounds will just dump it in. Jones goes in after it. Doctor takes him into the boards. In behind, Anderson shoots it along the boards. It comes back to Heidela. Brings around the boards to the far side. That's Streeter trying to clear it out. He does get it back into neutral ice. Again, more and more people making their way in for this matinee game, and we're glad to have you on the My 9 station watching from the Heritage Center in West Duluth. Puck is in behind Raybolt. Going in after it was Newhouse. Tonka keeping a puck in right along the players' bench side. Up high, this is Newhouse along the blue line, and he'll just dump it in deep. It goes in behind. That's Payne who could not control it. They center it, but again, a nice defensive play by Payne as he gets it out of that slot area. And the Hounds will just clear it out. 1-1 in the junior varsity game. They went to overtime, and neither team could score in the 5 minutes. So that's the start of this afternoon, and it's only going to get better as we progress into the evening hours. Hounds try to clear it out. Taking a couple whacks at it was Garrett Johnson, who's playing defense now for the Hounds. Johnson will backhand it into the Tonka zone where James Miller gets it out, but Tonka will just bring it right back in, and now coming out was Kroll, and Raybold will just clear it away. Hey, a tough angle to call a game. We're on one end of the arena here, a little bit different than what we've been used to being in center ice, so it's going to take a little time just to get used to our vantage point.
We got a little bit of a bird's eye view up here, Bob, but a little difficult sometimes to see the numbers here, but
is in behind where Charlie Erickson was battling for it. Shot along the boards. Here's a shot for the point, and that was Payne who put it right towards the net. Now Baker gets it back to the point. Heidel with a shot towards the net. In behind, this is Jeanette. Center pass right out in front. Nobody home to bat it in. And coming out is Mac Motzko, and he'll put it the length of the ice. 3 minutes into our telecast, no score. Most of the action has been in the East End. And here comes once again Minnetonka. This is A.J. Kittleson right towards the goalie. Centering pass, nobody home. Comes back to the point, and Minnetonka will keep it in the zone deep. Here's a wrister from Glenn. Oh, it may have hit some pipe. And we've got a frozen puck. Let's take a break. 13:43 to go here in our opening period. My 9 Sports from the Duluth Heritage Sports Center. Well, just about set to resume. They took a TV timeout for us, and now we're ready to resume action as Streeter takes the draw.
Well, the referees must have knew what was going on up here.
Puck is cleared away from the slot by Payne into neutral ice. That's Lyle putting it into the zone and delayed offside. Miller picks up the puck. He'll give it to Kroll, back to Miller. Off Newhouse's stick. And it sits in center ice, and it's put into the Minnetonka zone. No score as Kroll will pick up the puck for the Skippers. Now Newhouse will grab the loose puck, going right side, and we've got an offside called on the Minnetonka Skippers.
Looks a little bit like a game of chess up here, Bob, where it's, neither team wants to take a chance at doing something too risky in order to give up that first goal. So Duluth East playing a little bit more of a passive style right now, waiting for guys like Ricky Lyle to get in and make that first hit, get some energy on it. Minnetonka not really trying to stretch things out like I've seen them do in the past. So kind of waiting to see who's going to make that first big move in this game of chess that we're watching here right now.
This is Doctor. He'll dump it in deep. It rings around the boards to the far side. Battle for the corner. Now Donovan will pick up the puck. Donovan, one of the leading scorers for Duluth East. He's got 6 goals on the season. 3 players with 6 goals this year for Duluth East. They've just had a hard time putting the puck in the net, according to Coach Randolph.
We'll get a little bit more of that after the first period here. We'll chat with Coach Randolph right after the first period.
Puck is centering pass right on front, and Raybold will cover up. Taking a couple extra whacks at it was Teddy Lagerback. Now Tonka will make a line change.
At least not afraid to take care of the front of their net there, Bob. There's going to be a little bit of extracurricular down there, and that's okay. He got a little whack at it. Cute little through the leg dipsy doodle there by Lagerback, and takes an extra whack, and a guy like Payne's not going to allow that to happen. Well, this might be a little bit more full than I've seen the Heritage Center in quite a long time. I've been to a couple of games here, Bob, and this is a pretty darn good crowd here at the Heritage Center.
Puck is loose. Here's a goal, an easy one, as the rebound comes right out, and it's put home. I think it may have been A.J. Kittleson getting the goal. That goal comes 4 minutes and 33 seconds in.
Well, it was a great-looking shot there from the side of the net. Actually, good kick rebound out by Raybold, but take a look there right in the slot. We've got big old number 24 sitting there in a good position. Kettleson sitting right Johnny on the spot, taps that thing in a yawning net, and that baby puts the Skippers up 1-0. We're going to have a power play here for the Hounds. Ricky Lyle with a pretty good sell there at center ice. He had the stick kind of tied up underneath his armpit, and he kind of clutched it down a little bit and laid back. And referee is going to give him a little bit of an extra crack here.
So going off is going to be, looks like number 7, Mason Hendrickson. He was a part of the last goal. He got 1 assist along with Nick Henry. Kittleson from Hendrickson and Henry. Well, now they say it's Josh Litke go to the box, a 3 instead of a 7. Again, from our vantage point, a little difficult seeing a difference between a 3 and a 7 up here.
Well, we've got the Greyhounds here sitting at about 24% on the power play, where you've got on the other side the Skippers at 89% on the penalty kill. That is a pretty phenomenal penalty kill there for the Skippers. You know, as a coach, you always think your best penalty killer better be your goalie. So when you've got a penalty kill that's 89 or higher, you know they got one heck of a goalie.
They've only given up 13 goals all year.
That answers a lot of questions right there.
Power play with 11:35 to go for the Ace Greyhounds, trailing 1-0. Puck is right below our vantage point in the corner. Kroll will come away with it. Kroll will just clear it. It'll go right on goaltender Raybold. Will Kroll.
That's an awesome hockey name.
This is Ryder Donovan, gets turned back in his own end.
Hounds having a little bit of a problem here trying to settle into their breakout on the power play.
This is Anderson coming in. Logan Anderson, left side. He'll drop it back for Lyle. Right to the point. His shot was deflected. A hard shot from Garrett Johnson, who's now playing on the power play for East. A little change from the last couple times we've seen the Greyhounds. Coach Randolph playing some different personnel. Here comes Donovan. Ryder Donovan will carry it in. Ryder, left circle, controls the puck hit. Doctor's all over him. Gets it back to the point. Shot by Cochran. Deflected in front. Now Jones will grab the puck. The 6'7" youngster in the left corner. Flips it back to the near side. This is Jack Fitzgerald, one of the captains. Jones again battles for the puck. Jones wins the battle. He'll control it. Puts a shot right on. Puck is loose. Now it's grabbed. In behind is Baker. Try to get back to the point, and it's cleared out of the zone. James Miller gets it out for Tonka.
Well, that was an interesting change down there by the Hounds. That puck came right by the bench as the extra guy jumping on the ice jumped on a little early. That could have been too many men.
Both teams now are back at even strength as the puck comes right to the net. We're going to take a break. 9:41 to go. This is My 9 Sports from the Duluth Heritage Sports Center. Outlet pass up to Newells. Newells gives it to Streeter. They're attacking once again in a blocker saved by Raybold of the Hounds. Doctor will keep it in deep. Digging for it in that left corner. Now it's shot in behind where it's going to be grabbed by Cochran of the Greyhounds. Gets it up to Lyle. And it missed. Have been touched by one of the East players hanging out over the edge there.
Well, you made mention, Bob, just a little bit earlier about seeing some things a little bit different than what we saw a couple of weeks ago with the Hounds. We covered a couple of games here just before Christmas, and we saw a few different guys in the lineup. Now we see some other guys in the lineup. Coach Randolph is notorious for doing this, where he's constantly holding his players accountable. As if you're not doing the job that I expect you to do, I got other guys waiting in line that I'm going to put in there. So I've seen that in the past where Coach Randolph has pulled guys from the JV 2 weeks before playoffs, and bang, they're in the state tournament. So he's the epitome of a kind of guy that's going to look for the right players at the right time.
Fitzgerald in after it, but Litke got there first. Litke and Fitzgerald continue to battle for the puck in the corner. Now Donovan will get it back to the point. Here's a shot from Heidela. Hit some traffic in front. A backhand save made by Glockner. It's pinned up against the backboards, where Donovan will grab it once again for the Hounds. Tipped away, but it'll be kept in by Heidela. Now Lacombe will grab the loose puck, and he'll put it into the Hounds' end. Into that corner with 8:25 to go here in our opening period. 1-0 Minnetonka. Donovan flips it up the boards, and the Hounds are able to get it out, where it's grabbed by James Miller. Miller to Kroll in his own end. Long outlet pass comes up to Streeter. A little bit behind Lager. Now it's put back into the zone by Kroll. Johnson will grab the puck for the Hounds. Long pass, and here they come the Hounds once again. Puck was tipped away from Logan Anderson back into neutral ice. You can see why they are so good defensively.
Well, in the neutral zone, you just can kind of see that East is just kind of locking things up in the neutral zone, where there's not a whole lot of space for the Skippers to get through there. You don't see a whole lot of penetration coming down here into the Skipper zone. But really locking things up nice in the neutral zone, so Minnetonka can't get through there.
Shot was put on, and Raybold makes a save. Shots are 7-5 in favor of Minnetonka as we watch on the replay. Look at that nice close angle shot that was taken by A.J. Kittleson.
Yeah, that's a goal scorer right there, as he just kind of made a nice move at the dot, turned, made a shot on net, and that's exactly what they're going to need, is just get shots. His shots are 5-7 right now, so not a whole lot of offensive action. But with a little bit that Minnetonka's had, they got one in the back of the net already.
Baker puts it in, and Glockner will shoot along the boards. It's in the Skipper end. Jeanette battles for the puck. Outlet pass is intercepted and kept in the zone once again. Here comes Newhouse. Newhouse in the attack zone. He'll drop it for Bayless. His shot. Hounds coming back with 6:45 to go. That's Jeanette putting it in. Jeanette will go in after it. He'll bang the defensive man into the backboards. Doctor is down. In there trying to dig it away is Ryder Donovan.
Well, those guys, I'm sure, are pretty familiar with each other, Bob, as two of them battled it out in the state championship last year. Fortunately for the Skippers, they came out on top of that one, but Duluth East looked pretty good at the state tournament last year. And really what Coach Randolph is looking for is he needs to get more pucks in the back of the net this year. And we'll get a little bit more on that when we get a chance to talk to him after the first period.
Off the boards, Lipke gets it in. Johnson could not control it, and we've got an offside called with 6:07 to go. Here in period number one, it's 1-0 for the Minnetonka Skippers, the #1 team ranked in the state of Minnesota.
Yeah, it's going to be fun here as this game starts to unfold a little bit. I'm kind of waiting for Coach Randolph to just kind of take away that, just a little bit of that passive play and start to unleash it a little bit. He's going to be ready to do that here pretty soon, but right now they're just kind of feeling him out.
Here's a pass coming in, backhand shot, and a great save by the goaltender. That was Lagerbeck. And then a goal.
Puck was just thrown to the net from the corner. It was a great save by Raybold, but puck went to the corner, stuck with it there in the corner, just stuck with the puck. That was Lagerbeck. Threw it back to the front of the net, and it ended up in the back of the net.
I'm going to have to watch the replay because I was looking down on the first save.
Yeah, puck was just bumped into the corner by Raybold. Lagerback stuck with it, and he actually just threw it at the net from the hash marks. Sometimes that's the best play in the game. I don't care what anybody tells you. If you just throw it at the net, sometimes you're going to catch him off guard. And Raybold was just kind of off balance or whatever it might be, just left that short side wide open.
And he left this announcer off guard, too. I had just taken my eye off the puck, and just like that, from that angle, and it's 2-0 for Minnetonka with just over 5 minutes to play here in our opening period.
We know, Bob, that's why God came up with replay.
Yep.
Okay. Came up with that so that we could just continue to look at it.
2-0 in favor of Minnetonka over Duluth East. Puck gets dumped into the Tonka zone. This is Dylan Zitzloff after it. Zitzloff now will control it off the boards, and it's cleared into neutral ice. Puck is along the near boards. Tonka trying to come out. Duluth doing a good job. Control it. Now Donovan. He'll drop it back. Cochran gets it in deep. This is Erickson now to the far side. Shot along the boards. Trying to come out of the Skippers, and they finally do get it out to Streeter. Here comes Griffin Streeter. Left side. Streeter gets bumped off the play by Heidela. Nice play by E.J. Heidela. And finally, the Hounds are able to get it out of the zone. That was Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald gives it to Donovan. His shot was deflected wide. And it's cleared out by Streeter. Now it's picked up by Cochran back in his own end. Off the boards up for Lyle. Stopped at the blue line. And Doctor will shoot it up towards the east line. Right to the slot area, shot deflected, and it was just wide. Good chance. Here's Doctor from the blue line, was just wide. And now Lyle will pick it. Here comes an odd man rush for the Hounds. Lyle puts it in. Going in after it is Jones. Doctor tips it away. Now it's grabbed by Anderson, gets it back to the point, and it jumps out over the blue line. Johnson could not keep it in for the Hounds. East, though, finally does dump it back in, and now after they regroup, they try to control and get a play going. Coming back is Lagerback. He gets knocked down off the play. Here's a pass up for Jonathan Jones. Jones into the attacking zone. Stops. Let's go. A shot right on, and a save is made. Taking a break from the Heritage Sports Center. My 9 Sports. It's 2-0 Minnetonka over Duluth East. East playing some pressure. Loose puck is grabbed by James Miller. They try to clear it out of the zone, and now they finally do get it out. Pass by Hendrickson. Trying to hit Henry in front. Be kept in deep where Heidel will grab the puck. He cannot control it. Cochran's pass off, and now here come the Hounds back. This is Erickson. Check that. That was Jeanette carrying the puck in, and now he'll head to the bench on a line change. Will Crawl. Long pass in the center ice off Newhouse. Comes into the zone, though, and now it's cleared all the way back where James Miller will run it back in his own end for Minnetonka. 2 minutes to play in our opening period. 2-0 for Minnetonka over Duluth East. From the home of the Greyhounds, the Heritage Sports Center here in West Duluth. Hunter Newhouse. He'll give it off to Griffin Streeter. Right side, Streeter trying to control it. He'll just dump it in deep. It goes in behind where Johnson will grab the puck for the Hounds. Try to get it up to a Fitzgerald. Now in center ice, here comes Ryder Donovan. He lost control of it. Pass coming back to him, but it's tipped away. And now Newhouse coming back with 90 seconds to go in the period. Here's a shot taken, a save by Robo. Puck is loose. Another shot. And it's finally cleared away from the slot area. In behind, taking a whack at it was Streeter. And now Donovan finally gets the puck into neutral ice, out of the attacking zone, where Grant Doctor will pick it up for the Skippers. Here comes Doc putting it in. And Cochran will grab it off the backboards. We're in our final 60 seconds. Coming in is Ricky Lyle. Lyle cross-ice pass. Here's a shot from Cochran. A beautiful pass to Jones. Oh, talk about two nice passes, and Jonathan Jones scores with 53 seconds to go in our opening period. Tic-tac-toe. Lyle to Cochran to Jones, and the Hounds get on the board. Two nice passes. Not much Glockner could do on that one, and Duluth East gets a much-needed goal here in our final minute of the opening period. Have a whistle, and we'll have a face-off. They'll bring the puck inside the East blue line. Oh, what a huge goal for the Greyhounds. Braden Lacombe will take the draw. Looks like it's against Brandon Baker. Nope, check that. It was against Ryder Donovan. There's a shot taken over the top of the net. Fitzgerald after it, but Miller will get there first for Minnetonka. Miller turned back in his own end to Kroll. 16 seconds to go in our period. Coming in is Lacombe. Puck is loose in that right circle. Now it's shot along the boards. This is Miller. 5 seconds to go in our period. Where is the puck? And it's cleared out, and our clock will run out in period number one. We've played one from the Heritage Sports Center in West Duluth. My 9 Sports coverage of high school hockey after the first period. The number 1 team in the state of Minnesota, Minnetonka 2 and Duluth East 1.
One, two, test. Test 1, 2. Welcome back here. I'm alongside head coach Mike Randolph of the Duluth East Greyhounds, and we're through one period here. Coach, give me your summary here just on the first half of the season here. How are your thoughts kind of just before break?
Well, you know, this is a great stretch for us. We think we've got a lot of work to do in a lot of areas, and now playing quality teams like Stillwater last night and this team today, we get a really good feel of who we are and who our identity is. And I think it's been a tough sell to this point to the kids, but I think they're starting to realize that we're different than last year's team. And that doesn't mean we're any worse of a team. It just means that we just play a little bit different. And so it's great to play Minnetonka. Stillwater last night. We have Denfeld on Monday. Sunday and Rapids on Thursday and EP on Saturday, all at home. So we're really looking forward to this stretch.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of the teams have played maybe a little bit more of a front-heavy, more games the first half, and we talked about this the last time, how you like to kind of get guys ready and push the second half.
Yeah, we like to get a lot of guys into the lineup, and here's an example tonight. Our top defenseman, Payne, is out for the day, out with an upper body injury. So now guys who have played, at least this isn't their first rodeo, and it's pretty tough against the #1 team in the state, but at least they've got some experience and they feel comfortable out there.
Well, yeah, and that's, you know, we talked about this on the telecast here too, is that you guys got guys in and out of the lineup, Coach. You don't have your roster set until before playoffs.
No, I never set it till, you know, later in January, middle of January, we start solidifying who's going to play where. Give a lot of people an opportunity to show what they can do and what they can bring to the team. And basically, we played 8 D so far and probably about 14 forwards and 3 goalies. So they'll start separating themselves, and we'll try to put this thing together and make it the best team we can make it and give them the best opportunity to win.
That's awesome. Give us one point of what you think this team needs to do better here tonight in order to come out with a W.
Well, we got to get a little greaser in front of our net. They're a very hungry team. They score goals. They love to score goals, and we really have to get pucks out of the house. Even if you put it in a corner and hit the restart button, but that area in front of our net is really an area where they like to go, and they're hungry. Those guys score goals, and you got to appreciate that kids that go to that area willing to pay the price to score a goal.
Absolutely. Coach, thank you so much for the interview. Good luck tonight.
Great to see you again.
Yep, you too. Welcome back here. I'm alongside head coach Mike Randolph of the Duluth East Greyhounds, and we're through one period here. Coach, give me your summary here just on. Welcome back here. I'm alongside head coach Mike Randolph. Welcome back here. I'm alongside head coach. Welcome back here. I'm alongside head coach Mike Randolph of the Duluth East Greyhounds, and we're through one period here. Coach, give me your summary here just on the first half of the season here. How are your thoughts kind of just before break?
Well, you know, this is a great stretch for us. We think we've got a lot of work to do in a lot of areas, and now playing quality teams like Stillwater last night and this team today, we get a really good feel of who we are and who our identity is. And I think it's been a tough sell to this point to the kids, but I think they're starting to realize that we're different than last year's team. And that doesn't mean we're any worse of a team. It just means that we just play a little bit different. And so it's great to play Minnetonka, Stillwater last night. We have Denfeld on Monday and Rapids on Thursday and EP on Saturday, all at home. So we're really looking forward to this stretch.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of the teams have played maybe a little bit more of a front-heavy, more games the first half, and we talked about this the last time, how you like to kind of get guys ready and push the second half.
Yeah, we like to get a lot of guys into the lineup, and here's an example tonight. Our top defenseman, Payne, is out for the day, out with an upper body injury, so now guys who have played, at least this isn't their first rodeo, and it's pretty tough against the #1 team in the state, but at least they've got some experience and they feel comfortable out there.
Well, yeah, and that's, you know, we talked about this on the telecast here too, is that you guys got guys in and out of the lineup, Coach. You don't have your roster set until before playoffs.
No, I never set it till, you know, later in January, middle of January, we start solidifying who's going to play where. Give a lot of people an opportunity to show what they can do and what they can bring to the team. And basically, we played 8 Ds so far and probably about 14 forwards and 3 goalies. So they'll start separating themselves, and we'll try to put this thing together and make it the best team we can make it and give them the best opportunity to win.
That's awesome. Give us 1 point of what you think this team needs to do better here tonight in order to come out with a W.
Well, we got to get a little greaser in front of our net. They're a very hungry team. They score goals. They love to score goals, and we really have to get pucks out of the house. Even if you put it in a corner and hit the restart button, but that area in front of our net is really an area where they like to go, and they're hungry. Those guys score goals, and you got to appreciate that kids that go to that area willing to pay the price and score a goal.
Absolutely. Coach, thank you so much for the interview. Good luck tonight.
Great to see you again.
Yep, you too. Welcome back here. I'm alongside.
I'll tell you, there was a family from the Falls, from Ely, A.J. Kittleson. I wonder if they'd have moved him from the Falls down to Ely or down to Minnetonka.
Who knows? You never know. Love it.
Some stuff. Yeah, it was.
Stop talking.
Jeez.
Ooh.
He always does that to us.
I know.
Reed, have you ever noticed that?
I know. Stop talking.
Yeah, stop talking.
Okay. Isn't that what we do?
Welcome back to the Heritage Sports Center here in West Duluth. You're watching My 9 Sports. Minnetonka and Duluth East. 2-1 in favor of Minnetonka. And Reed, we're going to show our viewers now the 3 goals in this first period. 4:33, it was A.J. Kittleson scoring.
That was a great play. A couple of rebounds there. Kittleson just standing right in the right spot to be able to bury that puck into the yawning net. This play was interesting because made a nice play there, and Lagerback just goes back into the corner, picks the puck, and throws it back at the net when the goalie wasn't even paying attention.
That made it 2-0, and then finally here comes a beautiful tic-tac-toe pass. Wide open is Jones.
That's my little spark plug there. Ricky Lyle, who makes the play from the boards, tipped back down, and Jones just phenomenal right there. Johnny on the spot, bang, goal. And they go into the locker room with a little bit of excitement. Get in there and you're thinking we're down by 2, to the top team in the state. You cut that in half with just under a minute. You got a little bit more excitement.
Saves in the first period. Charlie Klockner of Minnetonka had 6. Brody Raybolt of Duluth East had 11. 1 penalty on Minnetonka for 2 minutes. And no power play goals at all, as Tonka, one of the best penalty kills in the state of Minnesota, with almost 90%, stopped Duluth East from scoring.
Well, in just a brief couple of seconds that I had to talk to Mike Randolph before the interview is Mike, you really do a great job of the neutral zone. They really do. They lock down that neutral zone so that the skippers can't, or anybody that they play, can't take the zone with speed into the east zone. So they do a really phenomenal job of locking down that the area where teams can take some speed into the zone.
All set for the opening face-off of period number 2. It's 2-1 for Minnetonka, the number 1 and number 5 teams in the state in AA hockey doing battle on this Saturday afternoon. In their own end, that's Doctor, and it's backhanded in by Newhouse. In behind the net where Cochran shoots it along the boards. Is kicked back out in neutral ice. Jones cross ice pass to Anderson. Logan Anderson gives it to Lyle. His shot right on. And goaltender Glockner with the save. Great chance for the Hounds. Here it comes back to Lyle. Lyle will give it off to Cochran. He lets go over Rister is wide. Shot goes right on then on the rebound, and a save made by Klockner. Good start for Duluth East.
Yeah, like we said there in the first period, Bob, they're playing a little chess, feeling each other out. A couple more opportunities, and a couple of them ended up in the net for Tonka there early on. Hounds cut it in half, but you knew that Mike Randolph was going to unleash a little bit more aggression in this period. There's only so long before we're going to start seeing a little bit more pressure.
This is Lagerback. Puts it into the zone. A shot saved by Rabel. Cleared away from the slot area. Erickson tried to get it. Something going. Puck is loose in front, and it's cleared away again from the slot area by Garrett Johnson of the Hounds. A couple good chances there for Minnetonka. Now Charlie Erickson will give it off to Ryder Donovan. Here they come. Donovan will drop it off for Fitzgerald. His shot, and a save made. Hounds putting a little pressure on, as do the Skippers here. It's been end-to-end in the first couple of minutes. Come the Skippers back, and we nearly had a tripping. I think they may have gotten away with it. Walking right in, a shot by shot and saved by Raybold. Johnson tries to take his man in the corner. Puck comes towards Slutherland, and he'll get it out of the zone. Crawl will get it up to Lagerback, and it's cleared out once again and all the way down, and this will be icing on the Hounds. Well, the action is a little bit quicker now here in the second period.
Yeah, there's things going back and forth here a little bit. More chances at each net here. A little bit of excitement down here in the Duluth East end on Raybold. And, that's one of the things that Coach Randolph said in his interview is that his defensemen and his forwards, whoever's down in front of the net, have to do a better job of clearing things from the house. That's that little box in front of the net that you need to make sure that people aren't there with opportunities to score. Get pucks out, get bodies out.
Puck is cleared out, and Baker after it. Now Jeanette will keep it in the corner. Goes in behind. We're in the Tonka zone. Hounds putting some pressure on, keeping Minnetonka pinned back in her own end. Now finally into neutral ice, and it's shot into the Duluth East end, where Heidel will get there just ahead. of Hendrickson. Here's a shot right on, and Raybolt with a save. Loose puck. And it's cleared. This is Zimski tipping around near the blue line. He's a new add-on. He's a sophomore that's playing on one of these lines now for
Coach he's an example of what Coach Randolph said in his interview there. I asked him the question about, guys being in and out of the lineup. He doesn't make his mind up till, a couple days before section start who he's going to have in there. So he's got guys coming in and out of the lineup. He's preparing for all the situations that he needs and who's going to be the right fit. Here's another example of guys getting opportunities.
We have an icing. We're going to take a timeout as there's a break in action. My 9 Sports from the Duluth Heritage Sports Center. So we get back to action. The puck is cleared out of the zone, and now it's put back into the Hound end. In center ice, and now finally coming in is Hendrickson with the puck. Ice pass tipped away nicely by Logan Anderson of Duluth East. Anderson now flips it up into the crowd.
Well, a couple new faces, at least one new face that we can see here on this Minnetonka roster is Motzko.
Yep.
Coach Bob Motzko from University of Minnesota made his move from St. Cloud State down to University of Minnesota. His boy was playing at St. Cloud Cathedral before. That move down to the Twin Cities area brings the Motzko boy onto the skipper's roster as he enrolls at the state championship school. Good move, Coach.
Very good move.
Good move, Coach.
Yeah, I would say so.
Well, and Sean Goldsworthy in his second year as high school hockey coach, I'm excited to get an opportunity to chat with him after the second period and pick his brain a little bit about, he's a phenomenal coach. He coached at St. Olaf before he took over a high school position. So he's Division III college coach, takes over probably one of the more coveted high school coaching positions in the state, takes that over, first year, bang, state championship. I can't wait to talk to him.
Should be a fun one. 13:20 to play in our period. Puck is controlled by Lacombe. He'll get the pass. Braden Lacombe comes right out in front. Puck is loose. And Raybolt will sit on it, cover it up.
Well, that's an example of what Coach Randolph was talking about there during our interview, is that guys need to, if they're going to get one shot on net, that better be all they get on net. So you can see they got a shot on net, but you see sticks being picked up and bodies being moved right there. They're not getting second opportunities there, and that's what he's looking for. There's only so much you can do against a talented team like the Skippers. They're going to get that shot every once in a while. Just don't let the second and third chances get it.
Anderson, Jones, and Lyle on this line for Duluth East. It's cleared out. Henry, Hendrickson, and Kittleson for Minnetonka. Those are the matchups line-wise. I don't think they really go by 1, 2, or 3. I just think they rotate them in, and they're all pretty even.
Yeah, when you get a roster like that in a school with how many thousands of kids there?
Puck is loose, goal! Doctor took the initial shot. The rebound is put home, and it's 3-1 Tonka. That goal comes 4 minutes and 14 seconds in.
Yeah, and that's just a rebound there. We talked about that. Doctor gets the shot on that rebound sitting there. That needed to be cleared. And then we just had, looked like Mason Hendrickson standing there. Johnny on the spot right there at the left post, or I should just say the right post of Raybold. I mean, it looked exactly like the very first goal of the game, where there was a rebound. It was kicked out by Raybold to the side. Not much that Raybold can do. He's got to have some help there from his defensemen to clear pucks and clear bodies, and that was right on the stick of Hendrickson.
Sometimes you can't get an easier goal than that.
Well, then there were two of them just like that tonight. So, you can tell, and we talked about that too, with Mike Randolph, is that they know how to score goals. Well, part of knowing how to score goals is knowing where to be. And these guys are in the right spot all the time.
3-1 in favor of Minnetonka. From the point, a shot was taken by Garrett Johnson. And behind, they're battling for the puck, and it's finally picked up. This is Streeter coming in. Griffin Streeter, he'll drop the puck right out in front. Nobody there except for Jack Fitzgerald of the Hounds, and he'll clear it back into neutral ice. Fitzgerald will battle for it once again, right in front of the Tonka bench. This is Donovan. Gets up to Fitzgerald, then throws a big check into the Tonka zone where it's grabbed by Charlie Erickson. Gets it up to Jack Fitzgerald. He'll put it in. Glockner will stop it. It goes right to Fitzgerald. Nobody in front, though, and Glockner just bats it back towards that.
That's not a bad idea, Bob. Just throw the puck in front of the net. You saw that happen with Lagerback in the second period, or the first period. We just threw it at the net. It ended up in the back. So it's not a dumb play. Just throw it there. Sometimes it banks off the goalie and goes in.
Here's a pass back to Anderson, and he's shot just wide of the mark. Anderson controls it again. Goes high up in the air, and Glockner will just grab it this time.
Anderson doesn't usually miss those.
No, that was a good pass back.
So that was, I would just say, that is maybe luck on the side of the Skippers there that he didn't bury that thing, because the last couple of weeks they've been calling him Mr. Opportunity or Mr. Clutch for the Hounds, is that he's been that guy that's been scoring overtime goals. He scored the overtime goal that we had here a few weeks ago against Cloquet.
Anderson in behind, try to get it to Jones. Batted back in the corner. Lyle try to get it back to Cochran, but it's intercepted, and here come the Skippers once again. Just over 11 minutes to play. Right on front. Oh, what a save by Raybolt. That's a big-time save. Otherwise, the Skippers would have had a 3-goal lead. Now Logan Anderson will control the puck. He'll backhand it in. Jones will go in after it, but Glockner again just clears it away from Jones. In behind the net, big hit was applied on Streeter that time.
Well, that was not only a big save down here. I hope we have that one on replay, but the actual rebound was kicked out to a spot where he wanted it. You know, a goalie's going to make the save, and some of the good goalies, the really good ones, not only did they make the save, but they direct where their rebound is going to go. And you can tell when he made that save, the rebound got kicked all the way out to the top of the circles, out to the left of the goaltender. That was a great save.
Baker wins the draw. This is Garrett Johnson off the glass into the attacking zone. And we have a whistle. And icing is called to bring the face-off all the way back into the Duluth East zone. Minnetonka has not given up more than 2 goals in a season, so that's not a good sign for the Greyhounds as they trail 3-1.
Well, they're going to have to do a little bit of magic here, Bob. The Greyhounds are going to have to find a way to get the puck in the back of the net, which, you know, we saw an interview here not too long ago with Randolph talking about they struggle getting pucks in the back of the net. They struggle with their scoring right now. They graduated Garrett Worth last year, who was their big-time scorer. A couple other guys that made things happen, put pucks in the net. And, you know, really Ryder Donovan is the playmaker guy there. So he hasn't been the guy that scored that many goals, but look at his assists. He makes the plays. So they really need to find that pure goal scorer.
Here's Kittleson coming back. He gets knocked off the play. It's cleared, and now Jeanette coming back. Jeanette with Baker in the middle. Here's Jeanette's shot, and Glockner with the save, and we're going to take a break with 10:01 to go in period number 2. My 9 Sports from the Duluth Heritage Sports Center in Duluth. Back to action. Loose puck is picked up by Charlie Erickson. He'll put it in. The race in after it. Boy, a couple of nice passes. Tonka again puts pressure on. They just pass the puck so well and just take some good quality shots. Raybolt has been spectacular so far tonight.
Well, and contrary to what the scoreboard says right now, really East is playing a good defensive game. They've done a really good job in front of the net. They've done a really good job of picking up sticks, but the 1 or 2 times that they didn't, Skippers have been opportunistic. So it's a lot to say, but you know, there's a reason why they were the state champs last year and why they're going to be a really good bet in Vegas as to be the state champs this year.
Yep, they're pretty loaded. They're a pretty powerful team.
But, you know, when you get into that conversation, don't count out teams, obviously, like Duluth East, because when you look at how Coach Randolph likes to coach these guys, they aren't ready to win the state championship until March. And he will get them ready.
Coming in after is Michael Sutherland of Duluth East. He could not control it. Taken away by Motzko, and now it's cleared all the way down into the Tonka end, where Glockner will just shoot it along the boards to Will Krull. He gets taken in. Backboards by Ricky Lyle. Lots of hitting going on, a lot of action. Crowd waiting for something to happen. Kind of a quiet crowd right now here at the Heritage. Jones will flip it. He'll get it up into center ice, where the loose puck is grabbed by Brandon Baker. Here's Baker to the middle, and he could not control. Jeanette now on the left side, shoots it in deep to the far side. Zimski controlling the puck. The sophomore puts it back in behind the net. Jeanette going after it. Now Baker will control it, gets it back to the point. Heidela's shot deflected in front, just wide. Zimski took a whack at it. Now Zimski again controlling it along the boards. 7:55 to go in our period number 2, and Hendrickson will clear it out of the zone, but it's quickly put right back in by Jeanette. Baker will go in after it. Miller beats him to it, and the Skippers will just flip it off the glass and get it back into neutral ice. This is Cochran controlling the puck off the glass, back into neutral ice. It goes all the way down. Loose puck is picked up. Walking in is Donovan, and the shot goes right on him. Klockner with another big save, and that's a good chance for the Hounds, picking up a loose puck.
Well, that was Ryder Donovan coming in with the utmost speed. I mean, there's nobody on the rink that skates like that guy does. But, you know, we've had this conversation now, this being the 3rd game that we've covered with Duluth East, is in situations like that. You know, there's probably, I can count on just in front of me at least a dozen NHL scouts that are sitting here watching, and that right there for Ryder Donovan, they're looking for him to bury that one. So he's got to be taking a peek in the mirror after today and saying, what do I got to do? What do I got to do? But again, when you're drafting guys, you're looking at what the role is that they have, and he's a playmaker, 100%.
Cochran will give it to Donovan. Shot, and Klockner with another save. Along the boards. And it's clear coming into the zone. The attacking zone was Newhouse. Now Newhouse again controlling on his backhand. Puck is loose, high slot area. And it's taken away by Ryder Donovan. Here's Donovan with head of speed, stops, nice move. Now Donovan will get it up to Heidela. E.J. Heidela gives it back to Donovan, and it's put in deep into the Tonka end with 6:50 to go in our 2nd period. But quickly the Skippers are coming back. That's Streeter putting it in real deep. Heidela gets there, shoots it along the boards.
Well, look for this end of period hard push here by the Hounds as they get ready in the last 5 to 6 minutes of the period here to get a hard push here before they go and maybe try to get that one more on the board, make it a 1-goal hockey game.
Our next My9 telecast will be Tuesday night from the Miners Memorial Building in Virginia. It'll be the International Falls Broncos and the Virginia Blue Devils.
Hey, I know that rink.
That's Tuesday night hockey right here on My9 Sports.
That'll be a fun one.
It'll be nice to get Reed back in the minors.
It's always fun to go to that building, and it's fun to have the International Falls Broncos in the building. They bring in a lot of tradition and lots of stories that follow that group. They've been struggling for a little while, but it's always fun to see those two teams. Good, nice iron range battle.
Here's Jones trying to control it. Anderson will control it. Odd man rush, pass, cross ice. Sutherland puts it in deep. Comes back to the point to Johnson. Now to Sutherland. This is Lyle. Or check that was Anderson. Puck now gets deflected up into the back of the goalie. Under 6 minutes to go in our period. Here's a shot from Sutherland. Anderson after, try to pin the puck up against the boards, which he does. Jones trying to dig it out. Loose puck is grabbed. This is Lyle. He could not pull a trigger. And Tonka able to get the puck out into neutral ice and almost into the attacking zone. Now Lacombe try to control it, and Garrett Jones takes a whack at it. Up to Ricky Lyle. Fired in by Jones, and Duluth East will make a line change with 5:20 to go in our second period. 3-1 Minnetonka over Duluth East, the number 1 and number 5 teams in AA hockey in the state of Minnesota, doing battle before a huge crowd here at the Heritage Center.
And a rematch of the state championship game last year, which obviously Minnetonka came up on top of that one.
That was a fun game to watch last year.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
4:50 to play in our period. The puck was in behind the net, and now it's shot all the way down. Heidela will control it. In behind the net. Heidela's pass was off the stick of Kittleson. Kittleson battling along the boards for it. And now Jeanette will control the puck for Duluth East. Puts it into the attacking zone, going in after it, but James Miller gets there first. East again on a line change. Now Sutherland could not control. Coming in is Kittleson. Here's Kittleson. Pass off. Back to Kittleson. Goal. Back and forth. Kittleson gets his second one. 12:42. Kittleson with his second goal of the afternoon. We'll watch on the replay. Kittleson pass. He gets the pass back. And we got a 4-1 hockey game in favor of Minnetonka. Puck is put in, and we've got icing. We're going to take a break with 4:10 to play. My 9 Sports coming to you from the Duluth Heritage Sports Center in West Duluth. Here comes the Skippers once again, but it's cleared out of the zone by Sutherland. Now Doctor gets it up to Wires. It put into the attacking zone. Here's Tonka once again. The shot was just wide. Shot was taken by Newhouse. Rings around the boards to the far side. Here comes Jack Fitzgerald back, but he has the puck batted away from him. Hounds again on a line change. 3.5 minutes to go in our second period. Minnetonka with a 4-1 lead over Duluth East. Here comes Newhouse back. Newhouse on his backhand. Shoots it along the boards to the far side. And finally, Ricky Lyle will just clear it all the way down. Jones gets bumped into the boards by Doctor. This Grant Doctor is some defense. He really does a great job on the ice. I've heard a lot of good things about him, and boy, he hasn't disappointed at all. He's been pretty solid back there at the blue line for Minnetonka. Now Cochran will put it up towards the blue line. Comes back into neutral ice with 2:35 to go. Cochran skating back in his own end. Off the boards. Jones took a whack at it. He could not control it. Here's a shot taken. Hits some traffic in front. Shot taken that time by Lagerback. Logan Anderson gives it off to Ricky Lyle. Here comes Lyle in. Tapped away. Lyle now centering pass off Glockner. Puck is in behind the net. Hounds trying to get something in front. Lyle continues to work hard to the side of the net, and finally Lacombe will grab the puck. A breakout up to Lagerback. Cross-ice pass, it goes to Matzo. His pass right out front, and Lagerback could not get the stick straight. Otherwise, he would have had the 5th goal of the afternoon. Now Jeanette coming back for the Hounds with 1:45 to play in our second period. Action in the attacking zone for the Greyhounds, and it's cleared away from the net by Glockner, the goaltender. Again, he's got 18 saves in the game. We're at 20 saves so far for Raybolt in that Duluth East net. Now Brandon Baker's cross-ice pass. He tried to hit Erickson. And again, coming in right out front. Oh, nice defensive play by the Greyhounds as they clear the puck. Fitzgerald cleared away from the slot area. This is Kittleson. And we have a whistle. There's an injured player down along the backboards. Did not see what happened with 65 seconds or 66 seconds to go in our period. 1:06 on the clock. Again, a very difficult angle to be calling the action from here. First time we've been up in one end of this arena. Official will come out and try to help. It looks like it's Matzo, the injured player. Nope, I'm wrong again. It's Nick Henry, number 16. See if we can pick it up and see if we can. Well, we missed it right there. So we're not sure. The coach right now, Sean Goldsworthy, is talking to one of the referees, looking for now the officials are getting together and discuss the situation. 4-1 is our score. It was 2-1 after the first period, and Hendrickson and Kittleson have Minnetonka goals here in the second. It's been basically a penalty-free hockey game. Only one penalty in the game so far. It was on Minnetonka in the first period. And now let's see if they are decided on a penalty, and I think they have. It's going to be a Duluth East penalty. We're going to try and see if we can get it back just a little bit farther. Here we go. Well, it's going to be on number 40 for the penalty. I'm not sure if it would be a hook. Maybe if we can see that again. If you can, right now the officials are talking with Mike Randolph. As we look at the action, Johnson, boy, I don't know. So whatever it is, Coach Goldsworthy got in the ear of the officials, and he's going to get a 2-minute power play. Going to call it on Garrett Johnson. Now maybe they're going to call it hooking. 1:06 to go in our period, a 4-1 lead, power play time. And Duluth East is 81% on the penalty kill, while Minnetonka is 28% on the power play. Well, they're going to call it slashing. Here's a pass and a shot, a goal. Power play goal 20 seconds after the penalty. Getting the goal is Josh Ledke. Two assists on that. And we'll get the official scoring in between our periods, and we'll have that for you during our second intermission. 5-1 in favor of Minnetonka. We're coming up on 30 seconds to go in our period. Puck is put in neutral ice. Now it comes back to Duluth end. This is Cochran. Now Litke cannot control it. Lyle will put it in deep. 10 seconds to go in our period. Doctor shoots it along the boards. And it's put into neutral ice where Cochran will just fire it back in. And the clock is going to run out in our second period. We've played 2 periods of hockey from the Duluth Heritage Sports Center. And Minnetonka, the #1 ranked team in the state of Minnesota, has a commanding 5-1 lead over the Duluth East Greyhounds.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you'll give your attention to center ice, you know, the theme for our game tonight has been hard work. And we've seen an awful lot of that from our teams over these last 2 years.
I'm joined alongside here head coach Sean Goldsworthy of the Minnetonka Skippers, defending state champs, AA from last year. Coach, give us a little bit of a feel on how this first off-season was and how the first year was there, state champs in your first year as head coach.
Well, it certainly was a fun off-season, but we had to get back to work pretty quick in June and July because we graduated 10 kids and we got some new bodies to conform to what we do here. So, you know, we celebrated a little bit, enjoyed the spring, but, you know, our kids understand it's a new group of guys. We're built differently this year, so it's their time to kind of have a new different season. And to reward those kids, you got to understand that it's a whole new look.
No question about that, Coach. And you kind of alluded on my next question is you know, you did. There's a lot of guys that graduated, gentlemen that left to play juniors, 13-0 coming into this game tonight after losing that many players. Talk about your program a little bit.
Well, we're deep. You know, we got a lot of good players. Our JV program's real solid, and it's been that way for 2 years. And we got a lot of kids that can step up and play big minutes when we need them to. So, you know, we believe in playing with balance. You know, one thing I learned from Mike last year is, you know, you got to play balanced 3 lines. You got to come in with 4 lines and 60 in the state tournament. And we believe in our depth. You know, to play in the late conference in January and February, if you don't have depth, you get exposed. So it's kind of by necessity. And then you figure it out as the year kind of completes itself.
Yeah, Lake Conference, definitely one of the high-end conferences in the state of Minnesota. Fun to see that end of things. You know, how do you see the rest of the season panning out here? Obviously, it looks like the storybook season, 13 looking at 14-0, hopefully here for you. What's the rest of the season look like?
Well, there's only one thing we really learned from last year is we kind of live in the moment. So, you know, if you would have told me we were 13-0, I don't really care. We're playing Duluth East right now. We just finished the second period. We got another 17 minutes. We need to get better. That's one thing we did last year is our kids got better throughout the season, and it paid off in March. So, you know, we're not really concerned about what we did in November, December, or even last year. We're just going to get better as the year progresses, and we're going to keep playing quality opponents like Duluth East, and then hopefully at the end of the year we'll be sharp enough to execute.
Absolutely. Playing for that end of the season and with another crack, hopefully, for the state championship. Coach, really appreciate your time today.
Thanks, Reed.
Good luck for the rest of the season, and have a good evening tonight. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
The quality and price will always represent a true value on every item in the store. No matter which one of the 31 stores you shop at, throw in the stores.
From our teams over these last few.
I'm joined alongside here head coach Sean Goldsworthy of the Minnetonka Skippers, defending state champs, AA from last year. Coach, give us a little bit of a feel. Buddha's just running around right now. You're my boy, Buddha. Love you.
Where are you, Buddha?
I love you, Buddha. I'm not in love with you, but I love you. How was that one? Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
You the man.
I don't know about that, but
You the man.
I felt good tonight. I felt like I had some good questions.
Yeah.
I had a lot I could talk to him about.
Boy, I can just imagine what is going on in that East locker room.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I didn't even pay attention. No, I was paying attention to my interview.
I'll tell you, I wouldn't mind seeing 2 quick goals to start off the Spears. The clock gets on running time.
Is there a kid messing around right in front of us on the bench? What a ding dong.
Teams teams over these last 2 years.
I'm joined alongside here head coach Sean Goldsworthy of the Minnetonka Skippers, defending state champs, AA from last year. Coach, give us a little bit of a feel on how this first offseason was and how the first year was there, state champs in your first year as head coach.
Well, it certainly was a fun offseason, but we had to get back to work pretty quick in June and July because we graduated 10 kids and we got some new bodies to conform to what we do here. So, you know, we celebrated a little bit, enjoyed the spring, but, you know, our kids understand it's a new group of guys. We're built differently this year, so it's their time to kind of have a new different season. And to reward those kids, you got to understand that it's a whole new look.
No question about that, Coach. And you kind of alluded on my next question is you know, you did. There's a lot of guys that graduated, gentlemen that left to play juniors, 13-0 coming into this game tonight after losing that many players. Talk about your program a little bit.
Well, we're deep. You know, we got a lot of good players. Our JV program's real solid, and it's been that way for 2 years. And we got a lot of kids that can step up and play big minutes when we need them to. So, you know, we believe in playing with balance. You know, one thing I learned from Mike last year is, you know, you got to play balanced 3 lines. You got to come in with 4 lines and 60 in the state tournament. And we believe in our depth that, you know, to play in the late conference in January and February, if you don't have depth, you get exposed. So it's kind of by necessity. And then you figure it out as the year kind of completes itself.
Yeah, Lake Conference, definitely one of the high-end conferences in the state of Minnesota. Fun to see that end of things. You know, how do you see the rest of the season panning out here? Obviously, it looks like the storybook season, 13 looking at 14-0, hopefully here for you. What's the rest of the season look like?
Well, there's only one thing we really learned from last year is we kind of live in the moment. So, you know, if you would have told me we were 13-0, I don't really care. We're playing Duluth East right now. We just finished the second period. We got another 17 minutes. We need to get better. That's one thing we did last year is our kids got better throughout the season, and it paid off in March. So, you know, we're not really concerned about what we did in November, December, or even last year. We're just going to get better as the year progresses, and we're going to keep playing quality opponents like Duluth East, and then hopefully at the end of the year we'll be sharp enough to execute.
Absolutely. Playing for that end of the season and with another crack, hopefully, for the state championship. Coach, really appreciate your time today.
Thanks, Reed.
Good luck for the rest of the season, and have a good evening tonight.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you make it shorter? We aren't going to have time to play the highlights. Well, that's when we'll have to do them because the clock is going to run out here. I mean, that's fine too. That's no problem. Well, I'm going to try to play them.
Pea picking son of a...
What time is Uber going to pick us up after the game?
You got an Uber?
Oh, yeah, we have Uber. Hey, I had to be at the airport by 10:15 to get picked up.
Why, are you flying out? They're flying you out to the NBC headquarters out there, Bob? You know, all this My 9 stuff, you know, KBJR.
Oh.
I love it. I love it.
Boy, Tonka's ready to go east. Here comes East finally out. How much time we got? Oh, good. Well, we won't probably play the highlights, so we'll save those. Well, we're all set for our final 17 minutes. Tonka came out early while Duluth East just came out just after the clock had already got down to 0. It must have been a pretty intense locker room.
Oh, I'm sure it was. I'm sure that conversation for Coach Randolph, you know, anytime you see the Greyhounds down 5-1 in any hockey game, that's not going to make Coach Randolph real happy, regardless of what happened, regardless of how well they were playing during the game. Bottom line is take a peek at the scoreboard right now. Not going to like that. So they were heating it up down there in the locker room, taking their time getting out here. You know, the skippers are going to be ready to go. That was a great interview. Got some good input there, some good insight from our defending state championship coach, Coach Goldsworthy. Awesome team and a fantastic coach. I look forward to East maybe turning the page and coming in with a little more intensity this period.
Well, the first couple of minutes are going to be real interesting to see how East does come out of this locker room and try to get back in this hockey game. Tonka probably will continue that attacking the zone, and just as they've done, put shot after shot on and try to get another goal or two as quickly as they can to maybe get that game on running time.
Yeah, no kidding. We got to get that going and get her ready to rock and roll.
In behind the net, Tonka, this is Litke. Let's go over a shot from a tough angle. Raybolt with a save, and it goes up into the upper netting. Saves after 2 period. Brody Raybolt with 20 for Duluth East. Charlie Glockner has 18 for Minnetonka. Again in that period, Hendrickson, Kittleson, and Litsky with the goals.
Yeah, 19 shots on net for the Hounds is not enough for them to beat the high-end firepower and great defensive team that the Skippers have, Bob. But they need to get more shots to the net.
Puck is cleared out of the zone by Will Krull, and then it's put right back in. This is James Miller. Off the boards. Goes all the way down in Duluth East end. Must have been touched by one of the Skippers near that red line. Controlling the puck is Lacombe. And again, another whistle as the puck is knocked out of play. Both teams will make line changes with 15:50 to go here in our hockey game. 5-1 Minnetonka, ranked number 1 in the state against Duluth East, the number 5 team.
Well, obviously, kind of a tough pull here the second half of the game here for the Hounds, but you're going to kind of touch their character a little bit here to see how they respond to being down 5-1. You know, a team like this, they're always one of the top teams in the state. They don't have the type of tradition where they're going to roll over and die. I'd like to see this team really kind of show their colors and come back with a little bit of effort here as the third period unfolds, Bob.
East, the most goals they've given up in a game this year has been 3. So, again, this very uncharacteristic of their defense, as you said. Here's Cochran in behind the net. He'll drop it for Heidela. I don't think too many people have left. I think most of the people are still here right now. They're watching 2 good state-ranked teams doing battle. Comes back to the point and a shot. Well, check that. Just dumped it in behind. Just over 15 minutes to play. Again, very difficult to pick up some of the numbers on the far end from our vantage point. This is Zimski trying to get a pass and coming out, and Zitzloff will clear it back out into neutral ice. Here's a long pass up for Logan Anderson. Number 28 coming into the zone. Anderson, cross ice pass. Jones off his stick, goes deep into the corner. Jones will control it. Newhouse is after him. Now Lyle in behind the net. Lyle being hounded by Doctor. Jones tries to control it, and finally Newhouse will pick up the loose puck for the Skippers. Here comes Newhouse into center ice. Comes back to the side. There's a pass right out front of a shot and a save. Boy, you never know what you hear down in the truck.
Well, sometimes you just get that little birdie that comes and flies in and sits on your shoulder here and whispers in your ear. Some of the stuff we get, oh man, if the viewers could hear it.
As we watch on that replay, there's Raybolt with the save.
He did a great job of pinching the pipe on that one, making sure that that puck doesn't just squeak by him there on the short side. He's had to make some pretty good saves tonight, too. I mean, like I said, regardless of what the scoreboard says, he really has played a fairly decent game, making some really nice saves.
Here's Streeter, the leading scorer for Minnetonka, who has not scored a goal tonight. Streeter controls it once again. Goes around Cochran. Now Heidel will get to the puck. It's loose in the circle. And finally the Hounds will get it back into neutral ice. Charlie Erickson battling for the puck. Now it's grabbed by Litsky. In behind, centering pass goes right through the crease here. Kept in by Newhouse. Here's Litke once again battling for it. And finally the Hounds will come back. This is Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald coming to the side of the net. This puck is grabbed by Grant Doctor.
Well, that's kind of the play that as a coach you try to see what players are made of, and coming in wide into the zone there, protecting the puck and going right to the front of the net. Sometimes you're going to get taken down. Sometimes you're going to get driven into the goalie. But sometimes it hurts to go to the net like that. And we're looking for Easts to make something happen, and that's exactly what we're looking for.
Action continues in the Hound zone. This is Erickson. Will just flip it into neutral ice. Goes all the way down into the Tonkin where James Miller will grab it. Miller off the boards. It'll be kept in by Jeanette. Cross ice pass. Try to hit Zimski. The sophomore battles for the puck, but Miller controls it. Up to Motzko, who's back on the ice after suffering an injury. Just over 12 minutes to play in our hockey game. Coming back is Jeanette. He dumps it in deep, and Miller will control it once again. Anderson's pass, nobody there, but it'll be kept in by Heidel. Let's go with a shot. It's wide, and behind is Anderson battling for the puck. Taken away by Miller. Gets it up to Motzko. Cross ice pass. This is Lagerbeck. Lagerbeck goes into the boards. Check from Cochran. Cochran tried to clear it out. But now it's finally cleared to length the ice. And we're going to take a break in the action with the 11:43 to play. Well, I guess they didn't take a break. They're continuing. I thought it was going to be icing that time. We will take a break shortly just to let both our producers know that. Puck sitting in center ice with 11.5 to play. 5-1 for Minnetonka over the Duluth East Greyhounds. Coming in was Kittleson, who's got 2 goals today, right to the side of the net. And now finally the Hounds will clear it back into center ice. They try to hit Lyle with a long pass. That did not click, and now Zitzloff once again controls it. His long pass off a stick, and Fitzgerald will put it back into the skipper end. Kiffin will grab the puck off the backboards. Now right out front in a pass, and again, beautiful passing by this team. Zip, 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 and they just seem to break out so nice and easily. This is Kittleson up high. He gets it in behind the net. Newhouse try to control it, but again unable to do so as the Hounds get the puck back into center ice. Shot taken, deflected up into the netting, and now we will take a break with 10:35 to play. My 9 Sports from the Duluth Heritage Sports Center in West Duluth. Let's come back to action. We're going to have an icing called on the skippers as they shoot at the length of the ice, and they'll bring the face-off all the way back into the Minnetonka zone. Again, Tuesday night and Thursday night, we'll have high school hockey from the Miners Memorial Building. On Tuesday night, Virginia and International Falls. Thursday night, Virginia and Hibbing. So that's our next 2 My 9 telecasts.
A couple of real nice Iron Range hockey games, some good old school rivalries, a couple battles. Battle of Highway 169 between Virginia and Hibbing, and battle of who's got the best old school names between International Falls and Virginia on Tuesday night. So those are going to be some pretty good games to watch. Hope you join us on my 9 next Tuesday and Thursday.
Loose puck, and here come the Hounds back. Just over 10 minutes to play, and the Hounds need to get one. Zimski's ridden off the plays. The puck goes in behind the net. Newhouse, center pass, comes right to the slot area. Here's a shot. Deflected. Oh, a high shot taken by Brendan Baker of the Hounds.
Well, if you didn't already see it, I've seen it here a couple of times already here since the score was 4-1. Now that it's 5-1, I even saw it way back then where there's been a little bit of line juggling here right now. Some other guys getting an opportunity to play a little bit more, and maybe Coach Randolph sending a message to some of the guys that are maybe regular, like, hey, you got to do something out here tonight. You know, I haven't called some of the names I'm used to calling when we've been calling Duluth East games. I'm used to saying a couple of special names here, and there needs to be a little bit more excitement from some of these big guns.
Here comes an odd man rush. Lyle shot. Oh, Ricky Lyle finally gets one for the Greyhounds.
Well, that would be the one right there that I was looking for something more to happen. He made a great play in the first period, but take a look at that. He opens up as he's coming down the right wing side on his off wing side, and he opens up like he's going to pass the puck for a goal mouth pass, and then next thing you know, he rifles it short side. I don't know if it was short side or 5-hole. Yep, short side. Great shot there by Ricky Lyle, and I was trying to maybe beam him with a little ESP, like, hey, I hope you're reading my mind, kid. Something needs to happen for the Hounds, and Ricky Lyle's always the spark plug, and take a look at that. He got something to happen for the Hounds.
He gets his 7th goal of the season. He takes over the goal lead now for the Hounds, and boy, maybe that's the spark to get a couple more and get back in this hockey game with just under 9 minutes to play.
Well, that's the guy that needs to do it, Bob. Jonathan Jones getting his 2nd point of the night as well. He got the first goal for him. So the first goal was Jones from Lyle, and that one was Lyle from Jones. So guys connecting a couple of times here this afternoon, and let's hope we see a little bit more out of the Hounds here, try to make this game a little bit more interesting.
Hard shot from Grant Doctor. Raybold had a little trouble with it, but now here come the Hounds back. This is Ryder Donovan, lost control of it. This puck is picked up by Mason Hendrickson. He'll just drop it back to Doctor. That's Miller back to Doctor again.
Well, East playing that forecheck for a turnover. They did it a couple of times. They're not getting in there real aggressive. They're waiting for a bad pass or a turnover or someone to fumble the puck, and then next thing you know, they can go in on a rush. So with that, hopefully they get a few more opportunities from that.
Here's Zimski backhanging it in. 7:40 to play in our hockey game. 5-2. Hounds trailed 5-1. They've got the only goal so far in the period. Looking to get back in this hockey game with the next goal. Cochran dumps it in deep. Baker cannot control it, but this is Jeanette. Back to the point. Heidel off the backboards. Baker going after it. He'll drop it for Zimski. He'll take a check from Newhouse, but Zimski controls it. Now Newhouse will take it away. Here comes the sophomore Hunter Newhouse. Up to Jack Bayless, and now that line will head to the bench on a line change, as will the Greyhounds. 7 minutes to play in our hockey game. Here's Lyle controlling the puck. Cleared into center right. Now Jones. This is Doctor shooting along the backboards. Gets it back into center ice area. Jones puts it back in for the Hounds. Now Litke gets turned back. This is Lyle putting pressure on. Lyle just hammered Litke into the boards. Coming in is Motzko. Now Logan Anderson will grab the loose puck. He'll just flip it into center ice. Jones cross ice pass for Lyle. Lyle puts it in front of Anderson. Comes back to the blue line, and the Hounds do not make that play click, but they'll try once again. Jones is going to get a penalty called, and we're going to take a break as the Hounds are going to go on the power play. This is My 9 Sports from the Duluth Heritage Sports Center. As we come back to action, a hard shot by Ryder Donovan. Save made by Charlie Glockner.
Hounds on the power play here with a great opportunity to try and eke their way back in with one more on the board here late with 6 minutes left in the game. They could make this a really good game. They could pop one in here.
Minnetonka's only given up 4 power play goals all season. One of the best power play or penalty kill units in the state.
89%. 89.5%.
That means it's almost 90.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll call it 90. We'll call it 90 just for you, Bobby.
Okay, here come the Hounds trailing by 3. Need to get a power play. Erickson battles for the puck. Now Anderson in behind takes a check by Miller. Newhouse will just ice the puck the length of the ice. Tonka will make some defensive changes, and Duluth East makes some offensive changes. Second power play unit for Duluth East. Here is Donovan, left side. Dropped it for Baker. Baker now gets it back to the point. Cochran gives it to Fitzgerald. His shot is high over the top of the net. Now Donovan will control it. Dumps it in deep for Jones. Jonathan Jones has some trouble. Baker comes in, and it's cleared out by Streeter. It goes right on, a bouncing puck. And Minnetonka again will make some defensive changes. Here's a long pass up for Jones. He shoots it along the back. Fitzgerald comes in, kicks it back in behind the net. Now Fitzgerald will control it in the corner. Miller will take it away. Back to the point. This is Donovan. And now the loose puck is picked up by Kroll, and he'll just shoot it out. 10 seconds to go on the power play.
Really only a couple of 3 shots, maybe 2 or 3 shots on that power play. That's why they are the best penalty kill right now, I believe, in the state.
Both teams at full strength with just over 4 minutes to play in our hockey game.
Well, that linesman had his work cut out for him over by the away bench there. They had too many men on the ice, but he wasn't paying attention at the moment. They could have had another power play east.
Backed in, and we have a whistle, and we're going to take another break with 3:50 to play. My 9 Sports on this Saturday afternoon from the Duluth Heritage Sports Center. Hounds will dump it in deep once again, putting some pressure on. Zimski shoots it along the backboards again. Jeanette takes a check. He could not control it. Playing now is Tyler McGilvery on this line. Again, Coach Randolph trying to rotate some players around, like you've mentioned a couple of times, Reed.
Well, he's going to do that. He's going to try and send a message there. He's probably not happy with how the outcome of this game is panning out. He's got to try and find something, maybe send a message to a couple other guys there, juggle the lines up. Hey, it's nobody's job here. You have to... you got to earn it if you want to stay on there, and there's no breaks. There's no breaks in the schedule of the Duluth East Greyhounds.
We'll see Duluth East one more time on our schedule when they have the rematch at Cloquet on February 4th. That should be a good game, and again, a great sports schedule that My 9 has put together this year.
Well, that sounds great, because the 4th was, we could celebrate a day early for my anniversary with my wife.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
oh,
the
how
5th
sweet.
of February. Yeah.
Coming into the zone was Wires. This is their 4th line now. Wires, Swift, and Worms on the ice now for Tonka. Although I think they have put Hunter Newhouse to help out with those 2 younger kids. Again, Coach Goldsworthy also making a lot of line change, giving some kids a chance. Here's Lyle's shot, was just wide. Boy, he had the goaltender beat on that play, too. He just missed the corner. Now Lyle again, he could not control it. A battle for it. Anderson works hard. Lyle comes in after it. We got a scrum here in the corner right in front of our perch area. Loose puck is picked up by Griffin Streeter, all by himself. Streeter into the attacking zone. Let's go with a shot. Raybold with a save. Comes right out in the middle. Puck is cleared up the boards, but not out. This is Litke, who's got a goal this afternoon. He let go of a hard shot. Raybold with a save coming up on our final 90 seconds. It's 5-2 Minnetonka. They're going to stay the #1 team in the state, and they're going to stay unbeaten on this season. They're going to go to 14-0. Here's a shot, and they're saved by Raybold.
Lagerbach trying from that same angle that he scored one from before in the first period, except it was out from a little farther, right on that short side. You know what? Shoot the puck anytime you get a chance, fellas. It's always a good shot. It's the best play in hockey. Shot on net.
Thursday, Minnetonka will host White Bear Lake, and then next Saturday, they're back in the Northland as they will take on Hermantown. While Duluth East has a couple more home matches. Monday they have Denfeld, and Thursday they'll be hosting the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks. We have a delayed penalty coming on Duluth East. With 45 seconds to play in our game, the puck is now touched. Each team with 2 penalties for 4 minutes in the game. What a well-played hockey game.
Yeah, very well disciplined, and you can see that we know that already with Coach Mike Randolph. Many people have seen the teams that he coaches and how disciplined those teams are. And now you can see the type of teams that Coach Goldsworthy, he's very, very disciplined.
43.7 showing on the clock. That's the time remaining. East will fall to 8-3-1 on the season, while Minnetonka will go to 14 wins and no losses.
Well, Minnetonka, with their chance at their second power play of the day, they were successful on the first.
Yeah, it only took them 20 seconds the first time. Taking a penalty was Ryder Donovan. Hounds will clear it out. Carrying it back is Dylan Zitzloff back in his own end. Down to 19 seconds. And they're just going to run out the clock. They're just keeping the puck in neutral ice. This is Zitzloff taking it back, and the clock is going to run out. 5-2 Minnetonka over the Duluth East Greyhounds on this Saturday afternoon. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll recap the scoring and final statistics, and I'll get Reed Larson his final thoughts as the 14-win, no losses for the Minnetonka Skippers with a 5-2 victory this afternoon. And welcome back to the Duluth Heritage Center, where the crowd is making their way out as they saw two good hockey teams today, Reed.
Well, they sure worked their way out of this building here pretty quick, Bob. That was pretty packed in here. Probably one of the better crowds that I've seen here at the Essentia Health Heritage Center here. Phenomenal game. Two great teams. I'm guessing that the Hounds are not going to feel real excited about the outcome, but that is one heck of a good Skipper hockey team, Bob.
It was 2-1 after the first period. We're going to show you the goals in our second period, and we had one more goal in the third period. So let's get some of those highlights right now.
Well, it was played kind of similar to what we seen earlier in the first period. Nice shot on net by Doctor and buried with a rebound there on the side of the net. And again, here's Kittleson with 2 goals here tonight. It was just a tic-tac-toe play. You take a peek here on the power play. That was in the second period. Nice 20-some seconds into the power play. Backdoor pass, goal.
And, of course, here is Ricky Lyle scoring the second goal for the Hounds. And, again, that's the third time this year that Minnetonka has given up 2 goals. Other than that, boy, they've only given up 15 goals now in 14 games. That defense is just...
Well, what I think was really interesting is just having that conversation with Coach Goldsworthy between periods is, I asked him about his program, and we really pride ourselves on our depth. Well, no kidding. When you're in a community like Minnetonka, in a school that's got a couple thousand kids in it, they can just continue to reload, Bob, and that's what they do. If you're not doing the things the right way, and he even mentioned that in the interview too, that, hey, we try to get our systems out there, our philosophy out there, and try to teach that, and he makes sure the kids do what he wants them to do. And take a look. He's already staring down the eyes of what it's going to look like here in March. He's going to give a really good push and run to repeat that state championship. I really believe that.
So a few stats in a hockey game. Both teams with 2 penalties for 4 minutes. Saves, Charlie Klockner had 23 saves for Minnetonka, and Brody Raybolt finished with 28 saves for the Duluth East Greyhounds. Duluth East now back here for 2 more home games. They'll play Denfield on Monday. They'll play Grand Rapids on Thursday. Meanwhile, Minnetonka will host White Bear Lake on Tuesday, and then next Saturday they'll be back in the Northland to take on the Hermantown Hawks. So again, Hermantown's going to be the #1 team in Class A next week. Minnetonka's going to stay as the #1 team in AA. That's going to be a packed house next Saturday.
Oh, it should be. It should be 100%. Great game tonight, and it's going to be set up well for Saturday.
Okay, Reed, it's been a lot of fun. We want to thank My Nine Sports, John and Matt, that took care of all the controls for us, for Terry Hardica down the truck, and for our entire cameras, Darwin Aller on the main camera, Justin Pullman and Givenchy George on the side cameras. For Reed Larson, I'm Bob Cohn. Thanks for watching. Join us Tuesday night at the Miners Memorial Building as Virginia will take on International Falls. Once again, the final score on this Saturday afternoon, Minnetonka 5, Duluth East 2. Good afternoon, everyone.